Hi there, my name is Parth, and during this assignment, I mainly worked on the integration of the Paris data. So let me go to the both of the function. So the first function I worked on is kind of like integrating new athlete Paris athlete with the athlete biodata, and the second function I worked on is integrating Paris NOCs to the country data. Let's go through each function. So this is the first function. In this first function, I'm having existing names. The data structure I'm using is set. The reason to remove like so sorry to avoid the duplication here in this scenario, and I'm also like in this code you can also find out that like I'm also like reversing name. If it's like A B, then like same here, like last first variation, like so first last, so it's like A B, then I'm reversing to B A, just to avoid the duplication for that same person. And thus also the other thing I'm using like the hash map. The reason the hash map, like I belong to Java background, so we call it hash map in Python, it's dictionary. So the reason I'm doing this, like if you have the whole column, right, and there's kind of like the weight or height, like which is having at index, I would say 4. In that scenario, like to get height every time you need to get the particular 4, right? To get that 4, like that index, how you're supposed to get it. You shouldn't iterate through whole every column name, right? It's kind of like of n complexity. To reduce that, I'm using hasmap here just to get that particular thing every time in O of 1 complexity. Let's go down a bit. Yeah, so it's kind of like if you found that new athlete, right, then you got you got athlete ID, name, gender, and it's kind of like the formatting the date. We also having the another function to format the date, but I'm using this function, right? I just wrote this, so that's the reason I'm using this function. We are like adding the height, weight, country code, see. And afterwards, like after that, we just appending those data, right, to the to the athlete biodata, right? We are appending the data to the athlete biodata. And yeah, like we also like reserving those names to the particular map that I showed you initially. Sorry, set in the that I showed you initially. Integrating Paris countries. So yeah, it's the same. Like, so what is NOC? NOC is just like the country code, I would say. Every country is having different kind of country code. So yeah, that's the reason I'm having set to avoid duplication. Same thing, adding that particular country code to the existing NOCs. And here I'm getting like Paris index is the same thing I explained, right? Like instead of iterating through each iterating through each column and getting the index for that particular column name, just having the map to reduce the time complexity from O of n to O of 1. And yeah, after like getting that, yeah, after getting those all the data, I'm just getting integrating, or I would say appending. I'm appending that particular thing to the country data. Here's the line, new country, I'm appending to the previous country data. And this is the sorting function I'm using. So yeah, actually I wanted to use merge sort here, but yeah, due to the like time, I'm just leaving as it is right now, because actually I got this from Google, right? I asked like in Python how we can do sorting, and the funny thing is that I got this time complexity, I would say like of n square. But if you're using merge sort as we learned in the lecture, right, we can reduce it by like n log n. Or if we are using quicksort, but in quicksort, in like some scenarios there is kind of like n square. So instead of having n square, or like instead of like having quick sort, like let's have the merge sort every time to make it static and like n log n time complexity, right? And merge sort, it is kind of like complex, but yeah, that's the good thing I would say here. So that's the two function mainly I worked on. Thank you.